Hi everyone, welcome back to Dark Man Kwapo, the channel, the man, the brand. Of course, I talk movies, series, tech, music, and life. That sounds like fun to you. Hey, please do hit that subscribe button. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this video. Like and share. And welcome back. So on Friday, Netflix released Kings of Joburg. It's a South African series, and that is what I am here to review today. Now, if you haven't seen the show, don't worry, I am not going to give any spoilers here. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. Now, Kings of Joburg is in its first season. It released 6 episodes with an average of about 52 minutes per episode. It's set in South Africa. So one of the things I knew to expect going in was it was going to look something like Rhythm City or Scandal. Now, to give a brief synopsis on the series, this is about a crime family with 2 brothers. One brother taking the hit for everyone and going to jail for about 10 years and now getting out and readjusting to life outside of prison and trying to make some changes as you would expect one to. So in the first 5 minutes, you get this aggressive Zanzi type vibe, which is pretty much a precursor for everything that goes on. That's not to say there was any violence in these first 5 minutes, but it's definitely a tone setter for what you're going to see down the road. Now, one of the things that caught my eye very quickly was the car budget. They must have spent a ton of money, because if you're going to be using cars like the Rolls and Range Rovers and BMWs, man, I'm seriously starting to question why a car should cost more only because it opens in a reverse manner. Maybe because I don't have money, but yeah. And it wasn't just with the cars, it was the houses that they were using. I will tell you this, they did such a great job representing African luxury. This show, in my opinion, is a very great way to introduce people to Africa if they've never been. Now, if you've actually watched anything South African related, one of the things you know would happen is their ability or their tendency to mix local languages with English. And there were about 6, and I didn't know this, there were 6 different African languages that were represented. And I have a list. And forgive me if I pronounce any of these wrong. We had Afrikaans, Sesotho, Sepedi, isiZulu, Setswana, and isiXhosa, which is the language spoken in Black Panther, by the way. And this is one of the funnier things I noticed in the course of the series. The subtitles got confused with the dialogue at points. So there is the main character of Simon, who also goes by the nickname Vader. Some of them call him Vada. The subtitles would actually get confused and write father. Another part was they would say Simon Jr., but you would see Sam. Now, this is a very early sentiment I had. I don't know if anyone has had it or will ever have it. This is just my opinion, by the way. I did feel like the elder brother should have been the younger brother, and the younger brother should have been the older brother. All you had to do was change the dialogue, but it still worked very well, in my opinion. Although I do feel like that would have really spiced up the story in certain aspects. And not just that, but with the way they looked physically, it only kind of made some sense to me. Now, I do feel the need to bring this up. South African women? Woo-wee! I mean, my goodness. They are beautiful. They are gorgeous. Like, wow. And of course, African women. Our continent is really blessed. No cap. Now, there was a supernatural element to some of the characters, and it was a very pivotal part of the storyline. I can't get too much into that, but it actually felt like African content, like packaged, and it felt so good to see something like that because these things do exist. Now, in terms of the cinematography, with some of the shots and photography they got from the South African skyline, wow. Now, with crime families, as the story suggests, there is going to be some violence, and with that violence, there's going to be a police unit trying to investigate. I think they know everything. I'll just leave it there. Now, this series does something so well, which is providing plot twist after plot twist after plot twist from the first 15 minutes right up until the end. It's insane. You should really see what I'm talking about. Now, this series has a way of writing its characters into certain circumstances that they might not be able to come out of, and it has a way of getting them out. And you should see this. You really should. Now, this series explores certain complexities that can arise with adult relationships. I can't elaborate too much on this as well, but you start to see it from about the first 12 minutes of the series. It also explored love. It explored corruption. Now, in terms of character arcs, there is this character, Totlo, if I pronounce that correctly. Totlo's character arc is probably the most interesting one, tied with another one, but I can't get into that. It's definitely going to stand out when you watch it as you go along the episodes. This might be one of the moral lessons of the story. It's even hinted at. Fear women. Fear women. Stroma, and you will live long. Amen. This series also has a way of delivering humor in circumstances that should not be humorous at all. That's something that's quite rare. It's something that you should definitely see. You'd enjoy it. Now, this is the part where I have to get nitpicky and tell you about some of the things I observed, which I didn't like, but of course won't destroy your viewing experience in any way. Now, there are some scenes that drag a little too long. They can be solved with a simple bit of dialogue, but it just has to drag and drag. Phones also tended to ring too long, and this did contribute to some scenes dragging longer than they should have. Now, there were certain weird time jumps, not very big, but noticeable enough to make you question, wait, how did you end up here when you were just here a few seconds ago? How did that happen? So this kind of brought a slight continuity issue, but it didn't affect anything. Generally, it was a bit of a loophole I noticed along the way. Now, there's this one scene where I don't know if it was the intensity necessarily that caused this. A camera shook, and you know it should be a stable shot, but you might not even catch it. But if you look closely, you realize, oh crap, yeah, the camera shook. Now, in my mind, the biggest botch came with one scene they were supposed to have done in Atlanta. So we all know that South Africans drive right-sided cars. So when you go to a country like the US, you're supposed to drive on the left side. But for whatever reason, there was a car that drove on the right side and they drove on the opposite side of the road, which doesn't make any sense. Now, looking at the final episode and the way the season ended, I would be disappointed if they didn't go to a second season, but I would understand if they stopped right there. There are some unresolved issues from that final episode, and that have built up across the series that need to be resolved in my mind, and I think it would be a shame if they ended. Although I must say that ending, yeah. Now, overall, my final thoughts are this is one of the shows that would definitely test your morality. So if I had to give it a final score, I would give Kings of Joburg 7.9. Very good show, very good effort. South Africa is doing some great things and we hope to see more African content on the platform. It's on Netflix right now. Go catch it, Kings of Joburg. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do post your comments down below. Tell me what you think. Like the video, share, and subscribe to Dark Man Kwapo. I will catch you all in the next one. DMK out.